Welcome, this is Crossy and this is Endpoint TV, here for some MDL action. Endpoint squaring off against Wisla Krakow on train, and it's going to be a pretty decent choice for Endpoint as far as maps go, something that they are comfortable on and would tend to gravitate towards and lean towards, so we are hoping at least to see a good result for the boys. And you know, generally, things have been going well for Endpoint. Still in that stage of gelling, really, with the new lineup and Flames coming into the mix. And you know, the pleasing thing about it is that despite all that going on, generally W's are going in the results column, and that is the most important thing to see. And we'll be looking forward to seeing that run continue here tonight if we can. Best of one action in MDL. We'll see straight away out towards main, a key area, and Max gets distracted by a player coming in that direction, but does get a kill over towards Pop to begin with. There'll be a push from the T's towards the bomb site. Plenty of CTs in and around, ready to make the retake, but just getting the feel that maybe the Endpoint players weren't really set where they wanted to be, as Ponchek finds two of those players making their way in towards the bomb site. With their two-man advantage, allows Minio to hang behind. And you would think he'll be able to grab Flames as he makes his way in. Surreal does get one on Sparrow in the meantime, and Flames brings it back to a 2v2 sitch. Still a difficult find. Jed inside Pop, just making a nuisance of himself. And Ponchek has the number of Surreal. He has been dented down to super low. Surreal does get the frag in the end. But it is going to be Wisla Krakow with the first round on the board. Got themselves out into main, and it is such a crucial area of the map. You know, there are some areas of some maps where they can play a role, but you can generally get away with leaving them alone. Train is the single biggest area out towards main and into the open area. And while you know, it is one that you can lock down and you can make it very difficult for a T-side attack, you know, it's probably the biggest thing that can fall apart is a CT setup in pugs or mixes or that sort of thing, where the guys just aren't covering the angles, and that's going to be something that becomes super important as we get into the later stages of this game, I am sure. Double Scout and 3 Deagles. So Wisla will be outgunning the boys in blue. So they look to make a play down towards the B site. Set utility comes in. That nade from Endpoint is useful. Does about 30 odd points of damage. Flames tries to dig away and does manage to dig away. Finds one player towards the back, and then Crucial with the Deagle doesn't work as well. Robin has the chance to pick up 2, and he does. Good transfer of the D. Good patience as well. Bomb plant stopped as well. That's $800 that aren't going to be going into the account. And Endpoint bring it to 1-1 already. That is nicely done, and we will definitely take that. Let's go allow them to grab a few weapons, which in each situation should be able to outgun the Deagle, aside from maybe that MAC-10. And the easy way to do with that is to get close quarters and do as much damage as you can. 200% kill bonus available for any frags that Robin does grab with that weapon. A chance to really put themselves in the driving seat early here with a good run around. Just on board with Robin at the moment, as I think he's going to be quite tempted to get involved with that MAC-10 early. Try and get up close. Timed it perfectly, of course, in the round before. Wrapping in from behind. Flames do a bit of splash damage above the ladder as well. Plenty of useful areas from there. Crucial with the AK. Swings and misses for the guy on upper. Just posing to be a distraction more than anything else. There's 45 seconds left to go in this third round. Again, wiggle peaks. Max gets the tag, but not the frag. on a player out from main, and they're going to try and cause problems out from Ivy now, and the Ivy push does come in. Maybe a second or two too late as they're able to find Sparrow, the first player to make his way out from A main, and any real opportunities here have been shut down again. Endpoint will look to try and keep all their weapons in hand if they can. No such luck as down goes Robin, and down goes that Mac-10. Mike Max also picked up by the Deagle. Surreal and Crucial, they're doing some good work. AK and an M4 continue on to the next round. And Wisla going to have to go for probably a full eco this time around. Yeah, generally your plan is going to be spend down to about 2.5 grand roughly. So if upgraded pistol to Deagle is your plan, it's going to allow you to work. Players might be caught a little unawares, but he does then get the spray down with a bit of an assist from Mighty Max on one of those frags. And it could be another flawless victory. And it is for Endpoint 3-1 on the full eco bash. Again, slightly worrying signs. It looked like we're caught a little unawares out towards main with those players rushing through. I think a flash worked quite well. One single flash able to cause problems. But if they're doing that with AKs and with an AWP hanging behind, it's a little bit of a different story. I think Wisla might be buoyed by that. Surreal running backwards, able to unleash a frag on Ponchek anyway. And again, Endpoint, they've been dented. Yeah, 3 players losing a bit of HP. Mighty Max has to avoid any nades. Has to be more fearful. Down on 14, and we see he takes the AWP, and we're going to hold that in a tight angle where he won't be too exposed, he says, as we see Max out in the middle of A main. That's bold, but it's doable as long as you've got teammates who are covering the other angles for you. A lot of trust involved in it, and we see the shot gets missed. He's got attention around him as well, and that player is going to be able to push out of A main. Again, relying on teammates from behind to do the job, and Max does get his kill in the end. But in the meantime, brought to a 2v2. 25 seconds left to go, enough time to wrap all the way around into B. If they want to, and it seems they do. Surreal comes in and assists over towards A. I think now gets the message that it could be a B side. Both Wisla players dented low. If you add the HP together for both of these sides, they've basically got enough for one full player. Max with the AWP, he's going to be limited in his maneuverability, so he's going to need Surreal to make the first move. He does, but down he goes, and it's definitely going to be a save now. Keep the AWP going into the next round. They'll look at the scoreboard while we're at it. Plenty of cash on the Endpoint side. So with their AWP being saved as well, they will be able to get a full spend into this next round. For Wisla, not necessarily a full buy, but they'll be able to get AKs all round if they want. That's probably the most important thing. I think a couple of players may have been lacking in utility, but they're able to get a pretty much full complement there as well. Nice work from Crucial as he, with the AWP, finds Sparrow. And what an opportunity this is to shut down a buy-v-buy. With 2 players going down inside main. That's a little more like it. We see the action moving back towards B. Surreal going to try and keep himself alive. Seems to be doing that. Dropping back, getting patient. Catches a nade as well. I think he knows he's under a bit of pressure. Got Robin for company. Both of them, though, down to less than half. Have to be a little careful. Flames doing good splash damage through main entrance as well. I think he may be getting some sound cues. Catch is crucial. Jumping around. More like he's rail gunning on Quake than AWPing on CS. And took some good rifle control to pick him out of the air. Robin doing much the same. Catching on the jump. I think we could have another well-timed wrap from behind if needed. Flames using the distraction to get in there. Not required in the end. His two teammates able to clean up. Double AWP setup will be available for them into the next round. I see that head back Crucial's way, I'm sure, and we do. Let's see if we can catch another early pick towards main. Seems like that's not the play. Nothing super quick yet as Robin finds himself flushed out Pop Dog by that Molotov. Just showing that window out into main can be so useful. Crucial looks away, straight back to make the shot onto ramp. That's a shot into the foot of that player that's there or thereabouts and dropping off. See Wisla trying to get up in the grill of the Endpoint players. That's worked quite well. Ponchek's got himself two from that situation. Flames knows he's there, but Sparrow is able to pick up Max as well. Nice work from Robin, leaving one man in the connector. Flames left to deal with him. Sparrow trying to get an angle to take the diffuser out of it, but nothing doing. And it is 5-2. They'll flick to the scoreboard again. Bomb plant is going to help. Wisla can force AKs if they want, but as we see with that Tech 9 purchase, going for upgraded pistols on this one. So we have a little moment in the round. Just to keep the fans happy. Unfortunately, some of us are cursed with having to be left-handed. But I understand how tilty that can be, so we'll shift it up for this game. Robin inside pop. And he's just run completely past the guy. Or the guy's run completely past him. Still sitting in there, actually. And still making good use of the smoke. We're watching this unfold as Jed does get his man in the end. A paragon of patience. But while we were watching that unfold, Flames has dropped a hat-trick over towards Ivy. Endpoint still in the driving seat. Still with 4 players left alive. And that, I think, is the most important thing on CT side. The amount of times when you see a team that win 5 rounds on the spin on CT side, but they don't have any real money to buy when they do lose one. It seems odd, but that is just the way that the CT utility goes if you have to keep rebuying weapons. The weapons are more expensive that you'd want. The utility that you'd want is more expensive as well. These things start to rack up. and getting through, losing as few players as possible is pretty much the goal. You see Endpoint in the driving seat, but a couple of players down on 1,800 bucks after a full spend, and it wouldn't be that far away before they're forced to eco if things start to shift the other way. Double ult working quite well. Big reason for that being that there's not a whole lot of pressure really going in their direction. And Robin flushed out again. From two positions, showing good composure in there. It's a role that I tend to favour on CT side. It can be tough. You get pressure from above and from main. You have to be able to think on your feet sometimes. And if you are going to get aggressive in there, then you do need your teammates to help you out just a little bit. Jed finds one on Mighty Max. And he's out now. Two players trapped under heaven. Smoke will give them some cover, but I think Ponchek wants to get in there, and they go and get the pincer movement going. Jed, in the end, flies solo on it, and riding on board with Ponchek, the amount of times you'd play that in a face-it random pug game, and your teammate just wouldn't back you up. Oh, Surreal in the meantime gets himself 3 frags out of that, nearly came through, and you see how agonizingly close the bar was as well for Jed. One more bullet would have finished him off then. And that would have been a great turnaround. But instead, it is Wisla putting another round on the board. Endpoint still in the ascendancy, 6-3. And they're rocking with champagne taste with a double AWP setup. That's starting to put pressure on the finances a little bit. Not the end of the world, of course, and if Flames can be a little clever with that weapon, 200% kill bonus again. Spare eventually taken down. We saw him get to 1 HP before it's finally finished off by Robin. And that seems to be the way. Endpoint having the lead from early doors as far as frags go. It's real and crucial, getting a couple. Monio doing some good work down from the ramp, trying to just pick up some frags if you can. Also got the guy on upper who has now dropped. I don't think Surreal has picked up on that, and he didn't. Monio still doing some seriously good work there from the back of sight. Flames looks away at precisely the wrong moment. And for what definitely should have been Endpoint's round. Against the AWP, I think Robin's maybe expecting him to be out there somewhere, getting wrapped from behind. Oh. Okay, so Wisla Krakow bring themselves to within 2. Endpoint still with the lead, but going to be forced onto pretty much a full eco here this time around. I don't think we have anything to say from that last round other than that probably should have been theirs for the taking. Huge credit to Minio, who's standing out, picking up frags after dropping down from ramp. Just using the bomb for cover. I think 3 opportunities with Endpoint players caught unawares. Surreal not knowing the guy had dropped. Flames looking away at precisely the wrong moment, and then Robin expecting the last player to be inside the site. Another one, 2v1 advantage. Surreal going to stick the defuse. As Robin to hang back and wait. It's going to come back. AK and AWP retrieved as well. Money in the bank to buy. This has knocked Wisla back onto the back foot. Upgraded pistols this time out, I'm expecting. Upgraded pistols it is. Tech 9s. CZ in hand as well. Nowhere near as effective as it once was for a brief period as Max gets flushed out. Has managed to get one from that position before he's traded out, and that's quite expensive, getting only one. Sparrow, don't really know how he's firing that quite as quickly as he is, but that's some rapid fire movement and Robin tapping through the smoke. What a shot that one was to finish off, 8-4. I think we saw a little bit from Max there, the difficulty that you do have with the AWP on this map at times, trying to use it in close quarter situations. And I've said it a few times before, I think that's what separates good AWPers from great AWPers. Isn't so much the long shots, but it's the close quarters when you're getting charged by a couple of players and how you can deal with that. Max did get one, but if you're spending stack loads of money, $5,000 plus to get the AWP in the first place, plus utility, plus your armor, you really need to be getting more than one frag with it before you get taken down. Your Flames working in from main, trying to get aggressive with it, just needs to make sure he doesn't overextend too much as Robin able to find Jed. And as soon as I say it, curse the commentator, Flames overextends and walks through. Wisla prepared for that. Now just waiting to absorb pressure, and you know, often you'll do that. Just make sure that you don't get caught out by someone going YOLO style and pushing. And often your plan will be to hunt in pairs. Just make sure you don't get caught unawares. That situation, at least if you're surprised, you should be able to refrag. We see 35 seconds left to go on the clock, stacking over towards B. Sparrow throwing his utility in the direction of A, as if to set up for a fake from there. Chance for a spray down for Surreal. He gets two before Minio comes through. And you've got to be careful for this guy. He did such a good job from the backer side last time. We'll be able to get a bomb plant down as well as his teammate comes to back him up. Upper and lower to try and hold off against these three remaining Endpoint players. Two of them holding AWPs. That's going to be difficult for them. Minio maybe had the opportunity for a second, leaving the two AWPs standing. They have to try and get in there, and Max does exactly that. Sparrow then steps up from the upper, using the information from his teammate, no doubt, to grab that last frag. 8-5. Another look at the scoreboard. Flames and Surreal pacing well in terms of frags. Chance for a first half 20 bomb for either one of those guys, but priority number one, get double figures on the board. Scrubby buy coming in really, and that double nade worked supremely well. Down goes Crucial. I don't think that was one of the weapons dropped. I think he only had upgraded pistol. So not the end of the world as far as that goes, as Flames able to find Ponchek. I think, again, make sure that the same mistake isn't made as the last round. Don't get too pushy. That's exactly how they work it as they move themselves back towards A. Minio already out from Ivy. Jed there to help him out as well. I think throwing the utility is going to just give the game away a little bit. That's where the move is going to come from, as they just look to hold the angles. And you have to trust in the players finding those angles. Robin gets one straight away into main. Jed goes down to Surreal as well with the deagle against the rifle. That was nicely done. Now Max falls away, looking towards Ivy. Sees the man at Ivy. Minio again, the man of the hour. He's picked himself up a couple of frags. He's going to have to get 4 total in this round. Flames over to pick him up. 9-5. And the economy nicely dented coming into this final round. Wisla will scrub for everything that they can get. but they will definitely be outgunned against the AK and the M4s. Max ready to be assist king with the scout in hand. Chill straight away finds Ponchek, and that nade's going to do a little bit of damage through the window again. Hades able to get a frag, traded out straight away by Crucial as he makes his way in from Con. Ready to handle this one, and Minio goes down. Probably the danger man on the Wisla Krakow side more than anyone else so far in this first half is next to fall. Sparrow dented down to 13 points of health, and Jed also seriously lit up. So he's going to try and work out of that smoke. Bomb plant is less important in the final round. That cash is not going to be carried through into this next round. And down into the ramp. Sparrow looking for frags for pride more than anything else. And Endpoint do get double figures on the board. Nicely done as we get ready for the second half to kick off. A couple of rounds there from Endpoint where they slipped up a little bit. Probably should have picked them up. Maybe caught a little unawares. And I think that particular one was the plant towards the back of B when Minio was able to bring it home with more than a few assists from his teammates, causing distractions or picking up frags. But three distinct opportunities really where Endpoint players missed opportunities to hammer that one home. Still not the end of the world. Plenty to work from here. And depending on how you go, the Glock train can be more powerful than the silenced USPs, especially if you make your way in towards B site. A chance for Endpoint to get themselves in control early. Let's see what their plan is as we get into the second half. Best of one contest on train here tonight. Endpoint versus Wisla Krakow. Good to have you with us for this one. Let's see if we can put another W in the result column for the boys in blue as they get their set utility, and they are not hanging around. Already getting aggressive out towards into the main. They may be able to find a kill on the Ivy player. No such luck, but look at how passive this setup is from the CTs, and already have been put to pay. I know, just tapping away. Does find a frag on Surreal through the smoke, but he is basically just shooting into angles, hoping for the best. That flash from Sparrow was perfect, though. Allows Minio to get himself out and into the bomb site. Max finds one on Minio, but not before Sparrow comes out and grabs some frags as well. Crucial. They're lining up for him. Had the chance for number 4 and the win. Surreal had a moment like that in the first half as well. So close. And about 50 HP, the difference between a huge solo clutch and oh so close. Wisla taking the early advantage. Crucial rocking with the AK second round. Maybe a little unexpected. And priority number 1 is just not to drop this into the hands of any CTs. So Crucial not looking to show his cards just yet. Keep him close to his chest as far as that AK goes. In the same way that you maybe wouldn't spam your deagle off to reveal that it's not a full spend. Through they come. The split between Main and Ivy. See the AK hanging behind, ready to do damage and cut through these remaining players. It's going to be a difficult situation now, and Minio steps out. Perfectly timed. He is traded out, but nothing much doing. See the 2 remaining players sticking together. Flames with 2 to find, gets 1 straight away. Has he got himself a weapon? Not that he wants to keep, I don't think. He's trying to buy himself time as he catches Ponchek, making his way through, using the sound cues. That's gone supremely well. Thought the AK was going to be key in that, and that was pretty much how it was being set out. But, you know, largely set up by the players working out from Ivy and from main, being able to pick up a couple of frags in the process as well. Now that's pretty good news for you if you're picking up what are effectively entry frags with your pistol in hand. Endpoint we're looking to win and win strong in this round. Not let Wisla even get a foothold in this contest. Leave them constantly scrabbling around for money on their CT side. Surreal with the entry gets Ponchek next to the ramp and just spamming through smoke, trying to connect with something. See Flames so close to getting a frag, and he does in the end on his man. And see Wisla players falling away. Saving their deagle, their scout, and their set of armor. This is the case of damage limitation more than anything else. See no further action in this round. Endpoint 12-6. And Wisla Krakow taking an absolute pasting financially as well right now. They've got their save weapons, but nothing really worth spending everything they've got to try and protect. Just going to try and get this over with. As the full utility comes in from Endpoint again, over towards A. I think they'll be feeling buoyant about their chances after how easily they've managed to get in there a couple of times. Got to be careful about Minio. His position is known and he is flushed out. Does a bit of damage, but didn't really have the firepower to do more than that as they get the boost. Robin finds Hades in the meantime. So he does spot the boosted player, but isn't able to react quickly enough. Max playing the lurk role. Looking to catch Pop and Main if anyone was rotating in from behind there. You see Sparrow last man standing against 4. And that scout they managed to carry through from the last round. And he does get a kill with that. He is then traded away. 13-6 it is. Full spend coming in from Wisla and a crucial round here. I have to suggest that they don't pick this one up. Forced onto Eco to keep themselves away from losing that 15th round. Overtime guaranteed. And from that stage, of course, flawless Counter-Strike going to be needed. So while we wait for this round to develop, just want to highlight Max playing that lurk role as he did, hanging behind towards Popdog and towards Mate. The kind of trust that you have that your other teammates who are in the bomb site are going to be able to execute so that you can hold that down and make sure they don't get caught from behind. It's the kind of thing that you would expect from an MDL team that you wouldn't perhaps see in ESEA Open, for example. I've been doing Open, Intermediate and Main lately, as well as MDL with Endpoint, so I'm seeing a bit of everything as far as the way that these teams go about things and handle things. And in those sorts of situations, you may want to join your teammates just to make sure that you get that plant down more than anything else, and you just deal with the other situations as they come. A little more forward thinking though from the Endpoint side. We see Surreal may end up doing the same thing again, just holding towards Popdog while he allows his teammates to go in and make the final frags. That's exactly what does work. Other Endpoint players do the pushing, allow Surreal to hang around in Pop. He can also keep an eye for main. Once the damage is done, he can then move out from Pop to make that final frag. 14-6. Very nicely done, and such a comprehensive clear of A, even against the full spend. So we've got upgraded pistols remaining for Wisla as they try and save themselves from that 15th round. I think the big change between these two teams and their approach, Wisla were much more patient when it came to their play out of A. A couple of early rounds, they found that when they got through, they actually got in quite easily. And maybe caught Endpoint players unawares. As Jed tries to do exactly that, popping out from Popdog. Sparrow from Electric has players in two directions, so he's going to need some help. And it does come crucial. Hopping around, just trying to get some information, gets that in the shape of Hades. Now they make their way out from Popdog. Don't even need the bomb plant, 15-6. And this is super strong stuff. Double AWP setup from Wisla. But is it too little too late? I think that's the big difference. Even though Wisla got some opportunities where they got out into the bomb site, they preferred to play more passively. And they're shown if you get your utility out in the right places and you full commit, it's very difficult to be able to hold that off over towards A. 1-for-1 trade happens over towards upper. Surreal and Ponchek go down for Endpoint and Wisla respectively. No chance for everyone to just settle down for maybe 20 seconds or so and decide what the plan's going to be. Manio may be tempted to show from upper. Try and get information. Flames in a position to show. I don't think he is. He's going to be working on Pop. Let's try and flush anyone that's in there into the waiting arms of teammates that have got a little bit of control now into main as they look to push on. Crucial up top in a difficult spot really on top of that train. Hades able to find Mighty Max as they walk through, using the smoke for cover. Jed with the spray transfer. Even Crucial's last man alive. 25 seconds on the clock, so he's just going to save this AWP. As you can see from the right-hand side. Another problem for Endpoint, they have enough money. And Crucial's got sound info. He is able to pick up Minio. Nothing further doing in this game though, I don't think. On this round, sorry. (15-7) double AWP setup remains. And unless he's got a drop. Oh, okay, yeah. Thinking there's Jed rocking with a pistol, but no, he retrieved himself an AK. We've got two teams with a pretty full spend. Crucial leading the charge with the AWP over towards B side. Nothing really for him to do in that situation yet. Surreal showing from upper. Hades playing it from back of ramp. The old favourite position back in the day. Flames just playing peekaboo with Jed. Just waited for the flames to dissipate. He drops away, spraying through the smoke. Difficult when you do get flashed out of pop on CT side to then drop out into main. And when you do, you've got the danger of one of the main players using the smoke and flashes to work themselves out and just look in your direction, waiting for that to happen. You may sometimes work in tandem. See, Flames looked like he was going to bounce down into ramp. Just tried to show himself there more than anything else as he now comes to join his teammates and they try and work something out into main. Minio able to find the play from Ivy, and this is just a little bit disjointed. The push from Ivy came just a little bit after the attention came in from the main entrance. And Wisla able to move from one to the other, pick up those players, and start to put a little run together. So we don't have to worry too much about their ongoing finances because they won't. They're fighting for their life, so we don't have to look too far ahead. But at least look towards the next round if they have to rebuy some of those weapons. And with how it sits at the moment, if they do drop 3 or 4, it may be tough for them to get a full complement out into the next round. Jed finds Mighty Max. Again, trying to make something happen out towards main. He's crucial in there. While Surreal able to walk through. Coming up closer to Ivy. Gets dented down heavily. He looks for information, waits for the flash to pop off. And steps up. Does some good damage as well in the process, but nothing able to come of that. Still 2 Endpoint players left alive as Robin able to find Hades. Monio. Be gutted he didn't come away with that one. He was first to the punch on it. 30 seconds left to go. Robin, maybe a little surprised by the player walking out from connector. Bomb drop, 25 seconds left to go. Sparrow needs to try and get in close. This is Robin's for the taking if he goes down for the bomb. But again, he's expecting the guy to be over towards Ivy. Not standing right next to him. He's able to spray across anyway. Doesn't matter. The pistol was weaker than the AK. And that is going to be a round. The final round on the board as Endpoint put 16